stuff, so I'll click on like new listings and stuff. How do I get back to this page to go back and see it?
So like if you click this, yes. How do you get back?
Yeah, like how do I get back so I can go back and see the other expired?
You can click here.
Click there.
And it'll go back to the home page. Okay. Or the better way is right here, this little blue arrow.
Okay.
You drop it down and then you switch to the next one.
Okay.
So like I'm on back on the market now, but I want to look at price decreases. Just hit this blue button and then choose price decrease.
Okay.
And then it switches to each screen.
Okay.
And then same thing for like sold.
Yeah, I know they may be dumb questions.
No. For the longest time, I would be on this, and then I would have to go back here, and then I'd forget which one I was just on.
Right.
And so then I found, this blue arrow.
And so that.
And that I could switch between them, and I can also change it to like 3 days.
Oh, cool.
Also, so like on Mondays, I'll change it to 3 days so I can look at everything that happened over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And then like if I come in, let's say I come in at 8 and I check everything, and then I come in at 3 and I want to check again, but I don't want to see the stuff that I've already seen, you can change it to today, and then it gives you all. But when you do that, you have to click. Well, goodness, I hate this. Okay. When you do change it to today. Oh my gosh, I don't know why it's doing that. Well, normally you can go down and click refresh, and it will refresh it to whatever date time you changed it to. So yeah, and then you can also change this here before you click it. Like, let's say you just logged in, I want to see 3 days worth. You can do that. Or I can change it here to cross property, and that's going to be residential, commercial, land, and multifamily instead of just residential. But I mainly focus on residential, so I don't usually do the cross property. But if I have a client that's like looking for land or something, then I'll do cross property so that I can see land and houses at the same time. So yeah, so that's the little market watch thing. You know, you can move all of these around.
Okay.
Anywhere you want. This is just how mine ends up being. Most of the time I don't mean to move them. I'm on my phone trying to do something and it moves it. You can also collapse all these by clicking the little arrow if you don't want to see them all the time. I like to see the recent portal visitors so I can see who I'm talking to and if they've been looking lately.
Okay. So the recent portal visitors would be.
That's like you have to put if you put contacts in, and then you've sent them emails or sent them listings through MLS. This is where it shows you if they've like come in and looked. You can also like click that person, and you can go to sent email, and you can see what email it was that they looked at. Okay. So if I click that, then it takes me to the listing that I sent her. And then if I have like auto emails or something for her, they're here, and then like this is just her contact info.
Okay.
And if she had favorited something,
then it
would show here, but most people don't know to do that or do it. Anything else on this homepage that you want to know
about? Okay, homepage. I think Ben had shown me how to find the school map, but I couldn't find it online.
So it's under external links, and it's right here, city school zone map, and then county school zone map.
Okay.
So if you click this, it takes you straight to it, and then you just put the address in right here, and then it will pull up whatever school. And this is just for city, and then the other one's for county, and that's based off the bus route. So a lot of times for county, it's sometimes better to just call the county, but usually that one's right. Every once in a while, it's not. Also, your USDA eligibility map. So like when you get a listing, you want to see if it's eligible for 100% financing. You can click here and put the address in, and it will tell you, if it works or not. Let's see, nothing else. Oh, I use the HOA stuff right here.
Okay.
Too. So like usually it's one of these two. So like if you click this, it's an Excel sheet, and it shows you the names, phone number, email for each neighborhood in alphabetical order.
Oh, wow.
And then the same thing for spaces. There's a little different. It's document based. As you scroll, they're in alphabetical order for each complex or each neighborhood. So that's all there. So really the only thing I use under this is the school zone, the USDA, and the HOA information. And then I also use the showing time link a lot.
Okay. Why do you use the link there instead of like on the listing where it says schedule?
Because I don't use showing time just to schedule listings. I use it for other stuff. Like this is what it looks like when you go in from the link on the homepage, and it looks different than what you see when you click a listing. When you click a listing, it's only scheduling for that listing. So if I click it here, then it looks like that.
Right.
So this is just your showing time homepage.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know it's there.
No, I didn't.
So on here, I can do a lot of things like, let's see, I don't think I need to click that. All right, so here I can look at my calendar and I can see what I have coming up for the week, like what I have scheduled.
Okay.
Green is confirmed, red is declined, yellow would be still waiting on confirmation. And so whenever I'm like, all right, what do I have coming up this week? Or if I'm talking to a seller and they want to know what showings they have coming up, I may look at this calendar. I can also switch it to say on my listings, and then it's going to give me a list of everything I have coming up on my listings. Or I can make a new request, which is what you just saw that other page looks like. I can also click I have requested, so there's showings on my listing and then showings on other people's listings that I've requested. So I can click here and see, okay, I have these appointments coming up. What's the status? Are they confirmed? Another thing you can do here is you can go to the listing setup. So have you put a listing in yet? Okay, so you haven't had to use that yet. So when you're doing a listing, at the end of it, when you hit save as incomplete, it says manage showing time, and it will automatically take you to this page when you click that. But to get to it without doing that, you would go to the showing time homepage and then just click listing setup, and then you can look through all your listings. And if you want to come in and edit the showing instructions or the appointments, like is it empty? So if it is, then it's a courtesy call and go and shows. That means you don't have to like wait on confirmation. It just automatically approves it. You're just letting them know that you're going to show it. Then this one is if it's occupied and you have to have a confirmed appointment to go there. So you would change that. Here is where it shows you, like if it's go and show, it doesn't have to have some authorization for who confirms it. But if it was an appointment, then it would look like this. So it would say who can confirm appointments and who gets notified about confirmed or canceled appointments. And so I have my sellers, I have it where me or the seller can confirm, and then we both get a text notification when it's confirmed. And you have to come in and click this little pencil button, and that's where you put their information in. You want to make sure that you put the mobile phone so that you can use text messages. If not, those text boxes will be grayed out like these. I do their phone and email because when I want to send them like a report on their listing, I like to have their email already in there. Down here, like you can see I have my assistant on here, so she gets a notification whenever someone shows it. Also down here, like let's say that they want 24-hour notice. Well, you could put 24 hours here, but that means that if somebody wants to show it tomorrow at 9 a.m., which would probably be fine, they're not going to be able to request it because you've got a 24-hour block. So my recommendation is to put like 6 hours, or don't put anything here and just go to suggested and put 24. So then when the agent requests it, it's going to say, there's probably not enough notice, but we'll try.
Right.
I also like to change this to 1 hour because I don't think anybody needs more than an hour to show a house. It also blocks out valuable time that someone else could have shown it. Allow schedules showings to overlap. I think it's best to have exclusive appointments only. That way that like if I'm showing a house from like 11 to 12 and then you show up, and let's say you also requested 11 to 12, well now you've got to sit in the car for 25 minutes while you wait on us to get done. And you may have houses to show after that. So you don't have 25 minutes to waste waiting on me. So that's why I like exclusive only. That way only one agent can book one time slot so that we don't ever have anybody stuck. Now, some agents don't believe in that. Some agents think that that you should let as many go in there as you want at any time, and that's fine. But I just don't think, I think you're more likely to call somebody not to show your listing because they didn't have time to wait any longer than you are to have a bunch of people come at the same time and start bidding more.
Well, that happened while I was showing my client's house in Jasper, and it just came on the market like within 24 hours, and I got a showing time, and well, that's why I was thinking, you know, just one. But then there were 2 other agents there too at my time.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
And it's like hard for you to talk. You can't talk. You can't discuss your true interests. I mean, to me, it's just not. What's the point in having an appointment if I have to wait?
Right.
This buffer time thing is new, and it says buffer time between appointments if scheduling's overlaps are not allowed. I don't even know. Buffer time between appointments if
Like
scheduling
to complete it or
overlaps are not allowed. I'm not sure. I don't think you need that. Down here, you're going to put what kind of box it is, like with the key in it. And then here you put like front door. And then that way, when the agent gets the approval, you know, it's not as important when it's on the front door. It's more important when you put it on the carport door instead of the front door because maybe the key only fits the carport.
Right.
Well, like, we're all going to go to the front door, assuming it's there. So, like, if it's not there, you need to put where it is. Back door, carport, water spigot to the right of the bush, whatever.
Wherever it is.
And then if there's, like, a CBS code, that's a call before showing code. A lot of the log boxes have that built in, well, they all have it built in, but no one really uses it anymore. But it used to be that you had to have that code to open the box. But now that we have showing time, it's kind of just understood that you have the appointment and there's no reason to have the call before showing code. Access notes would be like, key only fits bottom lock. Please do not lock, you know, the top lock or something like that. Also, you can put additional instructions like, see, if key is not in the lock box, use carport lock box, and code is whatever. So if there's another box or something. Let's say that your seller says, I don't want any showings before 9 o'clock ever, before 9 a.m. So you could click this add restriction. And I would call it no showing before 9 a.m. And then I would put a start time, 5 a.m. to 8:45. And then repeating restriction because it's going to repeat always. And then I'm just going to choose like a couple months out. And then I don't want it to be every day. So now, once I select these, now when anybody goes in to schedule a showing on that listing, it's not going to say, it's going to say that there's no time available before 9. The first available appointment is not involved. And then that way you don't have to keep denying showings and then telling them you got to come after 9. And nobody reads the agent remarks like they're supposed to. Right. So it's just easier to put the restriction in there and then they can't even request it. And then your seller's like, wow, they really listened to me. I said not before 9 and nobody goes before 9. Right. They have no idea that you put a restriction in. Right. What if you have like a mom whose kids ride the bus and they get home between 2:45 and 3:30 and she can't pick them up until 4? So maybe you don't have any showings between 2:30 and 4
because you don't
want coming in on the kids being there by themselves, or maybe the house is a mess while they're there or whatever. So you could do the same thing. You would just put 2 to 4 and then Monday through Friday, because they don't go to school on Saturday and Sunday, so you could just do Monday through Friday, and it would not let anybody book an appointment during that time. Like during Thanksgiving, maybe they're having family come in for 3 days and they don't want any showings. So you could block out, that would be an all-day restriction. And then you would just choose like, maybe it starts today and ends on Sunday. So then I would just write up here, family in town, no showings again until 5/16. So I always try to put in the reason, like when the next available is, so that people don't like get discouraged and not show it. Okay. Or you could do like a one-time restriction, like if it's just one day that they say, I don't want anybody coming in on, this Friday because we're having the carpet redone or something. You could block out one day. All right. So that's restrictions. That's pretty much all there is to that right there. You can also click these listing activity reports. And it will show you, like, this is not a good one. Okay, so this is what it looks like. If you have multiple choice questions, if you have the ones where you write in the answer, free text or whatever, then these are not going to work. But if you have it set up as multiple choice questions, then it will put them into charts like this for you. Okay. And then all I have to do is click homeowner version, and I can email that report to the homeowner so they can see what the feedback, even though they've gotten the feedback each time, they can see it see it in like a chart form. Or I can download it and email it to them. Let's say that you reduce the price on the listing. Okay, I can click send notification, and I can say I can choose any of these agents that have shown it in the last 180 days, or all agents in my firm. So maybe I check both, and it already says there's been a price adjustment, and it already says what the new price is. But you have to make sure that that's the right price. Right. You can also change it to other, and it'll be blank. Like let's say that you've gotten a lot of feedback that says, that people hated the paint color or something. If the seller painted it, they would buy it. Well, then you could put like here, seller, new paint throughout, whatever. And then here you could say, the seller's painted the whole house a neutral color. If you still have clients interested, we made a change. We'll take a look at it or whatever. And so that way, that's just an easy way to send it to all the agents at Keller Williams and anyone that's shown it. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So there's that. And then let me go back to the feedback. Okay. So feedback is right here. So like you've seen when you've done a showing, you've gotten a feedback request. All right. If you want to edit your own, you can go to forms and designs. And like you can see here, I have a Jessica home, a Jessica condo, and Jessica land, because there's different questions that I have for different types of properties. So like let's say this is the one I'm working on. Select Jessica home. You can also choose like the Keller Williams one, and you can edit it, or you can clone it to make one just like it, but then maybe change a few things. Okay. So let's say, can't edit that one. All right, so here's my feedback form that I've made. And so here you can see the plus is to add a response, and the negative is to remove one. So like, let's say I don't want that as an option, I can remove it. I can also add a question. I can add a multiple choice question, or I can add a free text question. The free text question looks like this, where they can just write what they want. And you can change all of these. Like you can type whatever you want in any of these boxes. And then you just have to hit save. Well, actually, I guess you don't hit save on this one. It just saves. I can also rename it, whatever. I can create a new template from scratch, whatever I want to do. So, like, let's say that you don't care about what the questions are so much. You can just use one of the basic ones. Like Showing Time has their own template, and then Keller Williams has their own template. And that's already built into your showing time. So if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. But if you want to, you can clone one of these and just edit it. Like I didn't think it was specific enough or something, and so I changed it a little bit. But I'm always wanting to change it, so I don't know. Some people like to change it, some people don't care. I'm one of those that wants to change it. Okay, let's see. So I think that's it. Oh, this is my feedback that I gave to them. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to showing time. As far as like the desktop version, I'll show you some stuff on your phone after we do some more MLS stuff. Okay. It's actually guidelines on the it's motion sensor. Not moving enough. All right. So let's say you're saying like how to do comps or whatever.
Right.
Well, first let me show you this before I go and tell that. These little spots up here, these white lines, you can hover over it and get these double bars. You can drag these to make them wider or shorter. You can also like click these gray ones and you can remove that column, or you can click it and you can insert a column. Like, let's say I wanted the age to be in there. Click add age column, and there it is. You can also click age, and I can sort by age if I want to. I can sort by price. The one I usually sort by most often is going to be close date, usually, or I'll sort by like the square footage or area of town. Like let's say, especially when I'm looking at the hot sheet, like I have certain clients that want certain parts of town, so I'll sort it by area and I'll say, okay, is there anything in that area that came up? I've got buyer A looking in area 1. Okay, there's 3 new listings. So let's say that I want to send those. I can just select all 3, click email, and then if I have their contact info saved, when you start typing, their name will come up, and then it's there. Let's say that I want to show all 3 of these houses. I can select all 3, click showing time. It's going to create a cart.
Okay.
It's going to put all of them in there. Let's say I want to show it tomorrow, and I'm going to say test. And now here they all are. I can click
all 3 of those.
Right. So I can click smart route, so I can figure out what's the best route to take to where I'm not backtracking or the most efficient. Or let's say that I want to end at number 1. So I can just drag number 1 to the bottom. And now it reorders them. And then I put number 2 at the top. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to end right here because this is closer to my house and that's where I want to end at. Let's say it's at 5 o'clock. I'm going to show it till 6:30. I'm going to end closest to my house, not furthest away. Right. Plus traffic. So, you can also like zoom in to make sure, like if there was 2 right here, to see which one is which. Like, because you don't want to drive all the way to the back of the neighborhood and then have to come back to the front and then have to go all the way to the back. It makes you look like you don't know where you're going. Right. So also it tells you how far each one is from each other. So it's going to take me 6 minutes to get from this house to this house. And it's going to take me 10 minutes to get from this house to that house. So then that way I know, okay, if I'm going to show this one from 8 to 8:45, which I'm probably only going to be there till 8:20. So I'm going to say, okay, well then if I leave there at 8:20 and then it takes me 6 minutes, I'm not going to get here till about 8:30. So I'm going to select 8:30 to 9:15. And then I'm going to be here from 8:30 to 8:50, and it takes me 10 minutes, so I'm not going to even be able to get here till 9, so it only makes sense to schedule that for 9. Right. Now I can click send request, and it sends all 3 requests at the same time. The only downfall in doing this is if number 2 says that this time doesn't work, then you got to reschedule the other ones. So, every once in a while it'll bite you, but usually it's okay. You can also, like, let's say that there's a house that you're showing that's not in MLS, like it's for sale by owner. You can click add listing stock, or no, sorry, add other stock, and I could put in the office. Now it adds it, and let's see, it's already in order, so I don't have to change it. And then I can just say confirmed, and then I can put my time. Let's say I'm showing it from, what time was I leaving? Let's say 9:15 to 10. Okay, so now I have like my order. So in my mind, I remember that this is my order, and then on my sheets of paper, I write down 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I write down the times. But let's say I don't have time to write it down, so I could do. I could click print, and it'll give me what time I'm showing, the address, and it'll tell me if it's confirmed or not. See, it says not yet requested, but it would say requested or confirmed. You can also do a buyer version that takes the other agent's info off, so if I want to give it to them, or you can email it to them. But the agent version is the most helpful. I can also add directions and a map if I need to, and it will tell me when I leave this house which way to go. Another good thing is you can add your buyers to showing time, just like you can add your sellers. And then if you choose, when you click add showing card, if you choose their name right here, when you request the showings, they will also get a notification that the appointment's been requested. They will also get a notification that's been confirmed. They can download showing time on their phone, and they can use it just like you can. Okay. It's just less information. Okay, I always get caught up on showing time. Okay, so let's say that over here, photos, symbol, map, symbol, this is history. And then when you're on the listing, this is the tax record, CRS, courthouse retrieval system. No, you don't have to go up there. You just click it right here, and it takes you to that house as well. Of course, I picked one that didn't have one. Click it, and it takes you right to it. Instead of having to go to CRS, type the address in, hope you write it correctly, and find it. So yeah, it's all there. And then also what's cool at the bottom of the CRS are these. This is a new feature. So like, here's where it sold the last time. So if I wanted to look at that old listing, I could pull it up and see the old photos and compare. People always like, well, what would they do different?
Why'd it go up?
Right. Or I could see like, okay, well, it was withdrawn in 15. I wonder what that was. I could click that listing and see it. And then, let's say that this is a house you're listing and you want to know the size of the lot. You can click view larger map here. And zoom in a little bit. Click on it, and it tells you right there land acreage, 0.17. And you can do that for any of these. Like you can click and see any of them. It doesn't have to be the one you pulled up. This one is the realist version. Maybe I don't like it because I was not raised, but I started the business with CRS, not realist. Realist came along about 2 or 3 years ago, and I just never liked it. Like, I didn't feel like it was functional to me. It's harder to read. I don't like the format that it's in. Like, this is just not as appealing to me as this one was, as this is. Like, this just makes more sense to me. So you can click that one, but I don't think it's great. And there's nothing real special about it that's any different from CRS other than this neighborhood profile. But even this one has that, facts and figures, and then area statistics or whatever. All right. You can also, let's say that you like these 3, but you're not quite sure where they are. If you click the map button, it will show you where it is. Or you can click the map here, and it's going to show all of the listings that are on that list. So let's say let's say I only want to see where these 3 listings are. Or let's say I'm only focused on these 3 listings. I can click refine and I can click narrow. It will get rid of all the other listings.
Because you've got those.
And then I can click map and it will show me where they are.
Just those ones.
Another cool map feature when you're searching, like a lot of times I have people say, oh, I want to be downtown. Okay, well, there's no downtown option. So I'll do active and then their price range, 350 minus.
Right.
And then I'll click map. And then I'm going to find downtown. Okay, so to me, this is downtown from McFarland to Lurleen Wallace and Jack Warner to 15th Street. Okay, so I'm going to select draw polygon.
Okay.
And I click. Doesn't have to be perfect. Double click at the end. Now it's only giving me houses within my polygon.
And so you can just pull up one.
Right, now I can either hover over and click, and then click the listing there, or I can click results, and it's going to put them in a list for me. Okay, so you can do that for any area. It doesn't have to be downtown. Downtown's just one that doesn't have a tag or whatever you want to call it. Like there's no downtown option. And so to me, this is the easiest way to search for that. And so now I have each one and I can just click and you can hit the over button on your keyboard and just flip through each listing.
Okay.
So that's an easier way to do things when you don't have a specific area where people are like, oh, I really want to be in a certain neighborhood or something, or within these 3 neighborhoods or whatever. You could do it there too. That would take forever. But really the only place I see it is when they say I want to be walking distance to the school or I want to be downtown. That's the 2 times I would use it. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to searches. Okay, you were talking about CMAs. So everybody does their CMAs different, but I'll just show you what I do. So I usually go to active pending sold and I'll do 0 to 180. I used to do 360, but with this market changing the way it is, I don't want to go back further than 6 months because the last 6 months is a lot different than the first 6 months of last year. So as you
you
see,
don't have to put in the date. You can just put in
however many days you want, 0 to 180 days, so that's 6 months. All right, so active pending and sold, and let's say that I want it. Let's say the house is in north of the river area, so I'm going to do area 1. And let's say it has 3 bedrooms. I'm going to do 3 plus because if there's a 4 bedroom that's comparable, then you know it's there. All right, so 3 plus, and then let's say it's a 2,000 square. Let's say it's 2,200 square feet. So I'm going to go 2,000 to 2,500 because I want to be close to the size. And let's say that it's a standard home for sale. And then I'm trying to think of something else that would be important. Let's say that it was built in 2017, so it's only 4 years old. So I'm going to say 1 to 5, and I might also do 6 to 10. Or I've got 14 results. That's a manageable amount. If it had a garage or something, then I could come down here and choose this. Now yours probably doesn't look like this. You have to click add and remove.
Right, I think
and you can choose the things you want to add. It used to be they were all listed down the side, but they're not there anymore. Okay, so there's 14. All right, so then I'm going to sort them by the status. So I've got 1 active, and I've got 2 pending, and then I've got the rest are sold. Okay, well then I'm gonna go through all these and like this is a townhome, so to me that's not comparable.
Right.
So I'm gonna get rid of that one. Pinnacle Park, refine, discard.
Okay.
Get rid of it. All right. Then I'm gonna go through all these other ones. I'm gonna see if they all compare. So yeah, pretty similar houses. So I've got all of those. So I'm going to click all of them.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to click Actions, Quick CMA. Now it breaks it down, active, pending, and sold.
Mhm.
And it gives me list price, price per square foot, sold price, sold date, how many days on the market. Be careful, because when I was new, I kept getting this sold price. This means sold price percentage of list price. So I always got this mixed up with the price per square foot.
Okay.
It's not. The price per square foot, it's right here. This is how much they got. Like if it was listed for 200 and they got 200, that's 100%. So you can see most of these people got 97% or more of what they asked. So when sellers say, our seller's getting what they want.
Yes, that's the.
This shows that out of these people that priced their property, you know, they got 97% or better of their asking price. So I really like this, and then down here it kind of breaks it down for you all as one. Well, no, this is, you can see it breaks it down under each category. So that's the active breakdown, pending breakdown. The only one that I think is important is the sold breakdown. So I can look at that. Okay, well, some of these are 5-bedroom houses, you know, so then you got to go through and weed out, like, okay, well, 5-bedroom house is worth more. That's why it's 588 and the other ones are 334. You know, so maybe you take out the 5 bedrooms, maybe you take out the 4 bedrooms because you have enough 3 bedrooms to comp with. You really only need 3 of each, and you don't even have to have 3 of each. You just need 3 solds.
Right.
You can also do a more in-depth CMA. You click this button and there's a step-by-step process that'll walk you through it.
Okay.
So like if you just clicked it, then it's gonna have you put in the name and info, and then you can choose which pages. Like let's say we don't need 2 cover sheets. I'm gonna get rid of the one that doesn't have a photo. And like maybe I don't need all this stuff. So I can just delete all that. And then as you go, so like if you have a property already, you can manually enter them, but if it has an old MLS, you could fill from that. Usually I just manually enter it because it's faster. Here you put your person's name. It's already got your info there. Here's your comparables, so you can come through and say, okay, I want these, but I don't want the 4-bedroom, and I don't want 5-bedroom or this one. And it'll just automatically, oh, it says remove selected. So remove that one. All right, and then map. It'll map out all those listings. Oh, I have to select them. Map. I don't know why it's not working. There. Maps them out and list them, number to whatever matches on the map.
So the reds are going to be the ones that are sold.
Right. Green is active, yellow is pending, red is sold. So here it breaks it down again. If you want to play appraiser and do adjustments, I don't even know what adjustments to make. Maybe have a pool. So maybe I put, you know, 40,000 or something over here. I say don't mess with this. And then here it breaks it down, and here you can type like my suggested prices. Like you don't have to say that, but you just put like 400. And then whenever you hit finish, you click view, it puts it into this like nice report thing, which I think is excessive, and I don't think you ever need this. And I don't think anybody wants to look over all this. But it's there.
The quick one. So this is would be.
So this is what it would look like.
This would be like a little book.
Yes, it's like 14 pages long. It's like 30 if you do the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, I don't know anybody that would.
Nobody does. If you have an extremely analytical person, then maybe you need it. A lot of it's repeating the same information just in different forms, like a graph or a line chart, and then another one's broken down into like this, a summary.
Right.
And then here, if you put a number in, it would say your property is most likely to sell for, and it would have that number. So there's the CMA. Let's see. When you are searching, like let's say, I'm trying to think of something. Let's say somebody wants,
Okay, well, I just had to try to look at mine. So I have a guy, he's interested in some land on like Warrior River, like
okay,
land frontage. Like how would you?
all right. So you would go to search, land, active, and then down here you would go waterfront, river, and then if you really wanted to get specific, come here to public remarks, and you'll put an asterisk, and then write the word black, asterisk. Then it's going to pull up anything that has the word black in the agent remarks, or in the public remarks. So gated community on the Black Warrior River. So then all of these should say something about the Black Warrior River.
Okay.
And so they should be on there, but you still need to go through them. I don't know. It's okay. You can see it better this way anyways. You should go through them and check, but this is your quickest way to sort through them all. And I would also be careful on land because people that list land for some reason don't seem to put a lot of information in.
Mm-hmm.
So I would take that out and just have it river,
Mm-hmm.
and then sort through all of them. And then it's like, this one's Black Warrior, so I can have that one. This one too. That one. This one says Two Rivers subdivision. I don't even know what that means. So I'm going to click the map. That map. And I'm going to see for myself.
That doesn't look like
It's not on the water. And so you also have to be careful because people don't put their listings in right. And I'll show you that on the input in just a second. But like, for example, this guy put the parcel ID number in wrong. So therefore it's not pulling up the listing. For some reason I pulled it up on this one. You can see the Tom Bigby River, so not that one. I'm gonna just keep going through Black Warrior Bay, that's one. Greensboro, Black Warrior River, Black Warrior River, Black Warrior River. It's a lot of listings in one place. Riverbend Farm, so this is on the river. Brookwood, on the river. Just because I know Brookwood, that's our river, I'm going to select that one. This is North River, not Black Warrior. But most of the time, you're just going to have to go to the map and see. So that's not the one they're wanting. Not the same one. All right, so now we can click refine, narrow, and then we click this agent single line. And it's going to give me that list of ones I've sorted through. So when you're putting in a listing, you go to input, add new. I'm going to go. Okay. So here you can search for an old listing. It doesn't ever give you enough information to make it worth your time to do this. So always go to start with blank. All right. Everything that's yellow is mandatory.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't fill out the white boxes too. So like if you don't have a condo, you don't have a unit number, so obviously don't fill it out. And the top mistakes I see people make is like, let's say it's on Marsh Parkway. You only write Marsh.
And then Parkway.
And then Parkway is your street type.
Okay.
Okay. When you find houses that the map doesn't make sense for where it's supposed to be, it's because they didn't go here when they put the listing in. Let me go back to a listing I already have put in. Let's see. No, that's commercial. All right. Residential info. So right here, it says get lat longitude from the address. You can click that, and it's probably going to be right. But occasionally it's not, so then I click set manually, and I make sure it's the right lot. And if it's not, I can move this to wherever the right lot is.
Okay.
So I always make sure it's the right one and click done. Then I also choose my Google Street View, because like if it was looking at that, I don't want that to be what the people see on Google Street View. You know, on Zillow it shows that. So whatever I want Zillow to show, maybe I want, maybe I want it to be from this angle.
Right, so you don't get the guy.
Right, so I don't have painter guide. Maybe I want it here, or maybe, you know, whatever you want.
Okay. So you can pick that.
Yeah, you can pick it. And so just make sure that this is in the right spot. So that way, showing time sends people to the right location, and you don't end up sending people to the wrong place. Or when they look at the map, they think it's right here, but when they see the map, they see it's not, they don't recognize anything. They're like, oh, that's not where I thought it was, and they close it, even though it is. The agent just put the address in wrong. Another thing that people leave out a lot is acreage. I think you should always put that in, no matter what the size is. And a lot of people leave out the taxes. So to find the taxes, you just click the courthouse record, and then you scroll down right here, you just choose the last year. 2019, they were $210. So that's the amount you put here. Let's see. And then this nobody really uses, but appraisers really appreciate it when it's used. So like, let's say the bathroom has ceramic tile, then you can add the next room. Let's say the family room has carpet or whatever. Okay. Could do that for the whole house.
Okay.
Additional information, again, yellow is mandatory, white is not. I don't understand why this wasn't filled out, but for some reason it wasn't. But you should try, if your house has it, you should put it in there. Now, if your house has a refrigerator, but they don't plan to leave it, don't put it in there. Leave that out. But like the range hood, the oven, the stove, anything that's built in, yeah, put it in there. Because a lot of people search for this kind of thing, you know. Also, another one that I wish more people would do is under interior. Let's see. I can't see it. Do you think as much as I look at this on there? Do you see interior? Here. It's up here where it doesn't fit. It's supposed to be alphabetical order, but that's why I can never find it. Jetted tub or soaking tub. You know how people say, oh, I want there to be a tub in the master. Well, if more people would select this, then we could search by that. But they don't. Nobody does. Most agents are very lazy, and they're only going to do what they're required to do, which is the yellow boxes.
Right.
But you should definitely, to benefit you and your seller, you should fill out everything that you can. All right, so that's the like details. Here is where you're going to put how much you're paying out. It'll put your seller's name right there. You should delete that if it's there. You always want all these to be yes. This is saying like, can it be on the internet? If you ever don't know, you can click the question mark button. It should have an answer beside it. And then your remarks, of course, agent remarks are only for agents.
Right.
You don't put the alarm code. Anything you put up here is going on Zillow. Anything you put down here, only we can see. Do you have any other questions about inputting a listing? Let's say this said save is incomplete, which is what it will say, and that's what you're going to choose because you have to move on to the photos and you can't move on without saving first. So if I had done that, it would look like this.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah, we're almost done there. Just like 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. I didn't realize it was 11 already. Okay, so here it'll say manage photos, manage showing time, whatever. So that's where you're gonna put your photos in. And then you can hit after you've uploaded your photos, then you can hit submit or certify and save, or submit listing, and it'll become active. But you gotta have photos in there first. And then when you get ready to change it to pending, you just come here and you change it. And then, or if you're here, you can just choose it here. It gives you a little drop down. Wow. Yeah. And then I can change it to sold, pending, whatever. When I change it to sold, you just put the details in and hit submit, and then change it to sold. All right. One more thing I was going to show you on your phone, on your showing time app.
What's the class? Is that the contract?
Like let's say these are the houses you're going to show. You just click that house and scroll to the bottom. You can click get directions, and it'll automatically start. So before I go, like as soon as I get out of the house, or like let's say I'm getting in the car to go show, I pull this up. When I'm locking up the other house, I go ahead and pull up, or when I get to the next house, I'll pull up the next listing that we're going to, and I'll click get directions. So when I get back in my car, it's already ready. All I have to hit is go, and it takes me to the fastest route to that house. So then that way I'm not like struggling trying to read a piece of paper or go the wrong way or pass the house. Really, I don't need this hardly ever.
Right.
But when I get in the neighborhood, I don't know where the house is, usually. And so it's most helpful when you're actually in the neighborhood, and so that you don't like pass it and have to loop around with them following you or something.
Right.
So I really love that. You can also sync showing time with your like calendar. And so when you schedule a showing, it'll automatically put it on your calendar. And then also when it says combination like that right there, if it says combination, you just click that or tap to view access details, and it gives you the combo.
Okay. I know they've sent me like combo codes.
Yeah, it'll show up in the text message, but let's just say you don't have time to find the text message and you just click that. Also, like let's say that I need to reschedule, I can click reschedule in the app. For some reason, I don't think you can do it on the website, but in the app you can, and I can reschedule it here and click reschedule.
Okay.
I can also view the availability if I need to see when somebody else is showing. I guess that's really it on the app that we didn't already talk about. Do you have any other questions? I know this could be a 3-hour class, so we just crammed it all in there. Lightly, that was a very light surface touch, but if you think of something else in the meantime, I'll be in this. But there's a lot more it can do. Also, if you just like hate your life and are bored one day, you can go into your help, and there are loads of video tutorials. You ever can, like, let's say you're like, how do I input a listing? Input, add, edit.
And then it tells you.
There's a video on inputting your listing. And the same thing with showing time. You can go here and click help. There are endless resources on how to use it too. That's how I learned it all. Doing it and watching it.
We tried to say that.
You can learn it all just
People.
by doing it.